Hey guys, so it is October 31st, and I'm gonna just do a really quick story time about why I do not celebrate Halloween. So, when I was really young, like 4 or 5, I remember when it was Halloween time, people would get costumes and go trick or treating. Okay, when it was time to go get costumes with my mom and like my family and stuff, I did not want to go inside the store. When I saw the store, we had to go inside. I was like, I do not want to go. And I was a kid, so I was scared as a kid back then. And it was just always an eerie feeling. And I would literally cry and like even if I wanted to go, like my body was like standing still and my mom would like drag my hand like, come on, let's go. Like I would have you sit out here, but you can't because somebody might try to take you, etc. Things like that. So I literally am like resisting and like I was an obedient kid for the most part. So it was like a big deal that I just didn't want to go. Usually I would just be like, I'll just go inside, whatever, suck it up. But I did not want to go. Fast forward to like getting older, people would go trick or treating. I've been trick or treating before, I've been to haunted houses and stuff. I didn't really like love it or like have like a blast or anything, but I would just do it because it was a societal norm that people would do. But as I gave my life, fast forward to my adulthood, I was like, you know, I started to just realize that Halloween, there was more to it because recently, probably like a couple months ago, I got a dream where I saw the very store that I used to go to for Halloween back when I was young that I did not want to go into. But this time in the dream, I see that I look over and there's like evil forces, I'll call it demons, and they're looking at me and they were afraid of me this time. And what's funny about this is, are they afraid of me per se? Give or take, not necessarily, but they're afraid because I follow the Lord now and they are afraid of him because he's more powerful than them. And with that being said, it's kind of like a full circle moment. Also, I will share this story. So keep in mind the backstory. Being a kid, not wanting to go into the Halloween store, and then seeing the dream of the demons being fearful of me and God more so. And literally, when I was a teacher, I remember that, we teach during Halloween. And I remember, like, God, how am I supposed to approach this? Because I do not want to celebrate Halloween because I just don't believe in it. And my class, I think probably in the month of October, we had like a fall party where there was no like jack-o'-lanterns, there was nothing like Halloween themed at all. Like we were, fall decorations like leaves, coloring leaves and collecting pine cones, enjoying nature and earth during fall season. But I remember on October, they encouraged us to dress up, but I didn't dress up because I don't believe in Halloween. And I remember the day of, I get a nudge, which I now know in hindsight was the Holy Spirit that said, pray before going inside. So I like stayed in my car and I did like a quick like protection prayer. When I come inside, I see one of my students who at the time were really battling intrusive thoughts that were very negative, that there was a voice that student kept hearing throughout the year, that I had been very prayerful about, but kept hearing negative voices in their head. So that particular student sees me while I'm setting up my classroom and getting the day started. She looks at me and she's like, Miss Long, did you make a deal with God? Mind you, like at that season in life, like no one knew like about my like backstory or anything, and she's just like, did you make a deal with God? And we never had talked about God prior. And I just smiled. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, did you make a deal with God? And kind of had this like sinister look in her eyes, and it just seemed like it wasn't her, like she was overtaken by something. I say all that to say that prayer was very important. When the Holy Spirit was nudging me, it was for a reason. So what am I saying here? There is something to Halloween that is spiritual, and some people will say it's just fun. And I'm not necessarily here to argue a point or to like convince anybody, but this is just my experience. And so, yeah, just be safe out here and look into and research the things that you do, the things that everyone does, the things that society says is okay. Really look into your why behind why you do those things, because if you do it for community and to just have fun, you can have community and do fun things in different ways that don't require like spiritual practices. So that's my little TED talk, and I hope that this blessed somebody. And until next time, toodles.